Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, how much muscle can you build naturally? Before I get into that topic, if you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. Come on over, submit your questions. The best questions I turn into videos just like this. All right, I've made videos like this before, but I had a request from a viewer, actually a viewer who contacted me through Instagram. And I'm going to cover this. I'm going to go into detail with numbers. And some folks, I want to preference this by saying that some folks do not like this information. They don't believe that they believe that you can get as big as you want naturally. That if you only try hard enough, that you can get as big as an IFBB or NPC bodybuilder. This is nonsense, but we all know that you can't win an argument with an idiot or a fool. So if you are one of these individuals who are so close-minded that you believe this information is for fools, that you believe this information is limiting and that I am a fool, you might as well turn off the video now. If you want to actually learn something, the information I'm presenting is backed by a lot of research, and a lot of the big names in the industry actually echo pretty similar things. So I'm going to give you some numbers on what to expect for natural potential. You need to understand, though, that these numbers are general numbers. They're not rules. They're very good ballpark numbers. And you also have to understand that they're best framed around people, men, that are not underweight currently. If you're down 120, 130 pounds and you're underweight compared to where you should be, you're going to be able to gain more muscle than this. I've had men come to me and say, I've gained much more muscle than that. I'm like, where did you start? And they said 125 pounds. Of course you are, because you're underweight to begin with. And when you are underweight, you're going to gain more muscle just to get back to a normal state. When you're underweight, you don't have the normal amount of muscle mass that a normal man has. Therefore, you're going to gain a little bit more just getting back to the normal range. Now, Dr. Casey Butt, and you can Google Dr. Casey Butt, did an extensive study on over 300 natural champions. Over 300. These individuals range from the 1950s on up to the modern era. He studied their body weight. He studied how big they got. And the numbers I'm going to present to you are based on his research. 300 natural champion bodybuilders, okay? This information is based on his research. Now, this will give you a glimpse at what it's like to be a champion. To get to their natural potential, it's going to be extremely difficult for most of us, but we can still get within a couple pounds if we continue to train properly. So, basically, the general ballpark I provide most individuals is that over the course of your life, you can gain about 32 pounds of muscle mass, give or take. This is a general ballpark. Now, most of your gains are going to occur during the first year. You're going to gain about half of this number over the course of the first year of training if you do everything correctly. If you're pushing progression, have a spot-on diet. Regardless of what this number is for you, whether it's 32 or 34 or 30, you have the potential to gain about half of your muscle mass that first year. So regardless of where that number is, you got about half. So if you look at it, you had 32 pounds of muscle mass potential. You gained 16 that first year. You're left with another 16 of potential. So whatever your potential is remaining, your natural potential, you can gain about half of that each remaining year. So your second year, you can gain 8 pounds, and you have 8 pounds of muscle mass left to gain. Your third year, 4, fourth year, 2, fifth year, 1, and after that, about ounces, barely ounces. So that is a general ballpark. The average male has about 32 pounds of muscle mass to gain, and they can gain about half of their remaining potential each year. Now, let's say you are the typical male and you have a potential of 32, okay? But during your first year, you're a dickhead and you only gain 6 pounds of muscle, okay? You only gain 6 pounds of muscle after your first year. So you have 26 left after your first year. How much can you gain during your second year if you kick it into gear and do things optimally? About 13 pounds. The third year, about 6.5 pounds. And the year after that, about 3.25. And the year after that, about 1.625. Okay, you see how that goes? So most guys don't do it properly during their first year, and they'll come to me and say, how much muscle mass can I gain because I botched my beginner gains? Whatever your remaining natural potential is, you can gain about half of that year in and year out. So that is a really good snapshot of how much muscle mass you can gain as a natural lifter. About 30 to 32 pounds for the average male that is at a normal body weight. There's a lot of big guys who will say I have more muscle mass than that. There's a lot of smaller guys who will say I've gained more muscle mass than this. But in Dr. Casey Butt's study, this research is spot on, and very, very few men have beaten this by more than a couple ounces or maybe a pound at most. And this is actually an incredible amount of muscle mass. 10 to 15 pounds of muscle will change your body pretty dramatically. Now, the question is, from women, what about me? What about me? Well, no one's done an extensive study on women. No one has done an extensive study on what a female can achieve. But I will say reasonably that you're probably best using about one-third of this, because a little bit of muscle on a woman goes a long way. So this is just speculation, but let's say a woman can gain about 8 to 10 pounds of muscle mass over the course of their life. That's a normal weight woman. Your first year of training, you're going to gain about 4 to 5. The second year is going to be about 2 to 2.5, and the third year about 1 to 1.25. So if you look at all these numbers, what we can tell is that you're going to gain a lot of mass during your first year of training, and each year thereafter, your gains are going to drop by about half. They're going to drop by about half. This is normal. There's nothing wrong. This curve, though, the closer you get to your natural potential, the harder it is to get there. Makes a lot of sense physiologically if you think about it, but it scares people. They'll go into the gym and they'll make great progress in strength and muscle their first year, and then things start to slow down and they come to me and they say, I've hit a plateau. What can I do? The reality is you haven't hit a plateau at all. You're doing everything correctly. Your gains are just slowing because you're already bigger, you're already stronger, and the body really can't handle much more muscle and strength. You'll get there. You'll gain a little bit more muscle and strength, but things will just slow. And because the rate is slowing doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It simply means you need to be more patient and stick it out over the course of 4 to 5 years, and you're going to be pretty close, within 90% of your natural muscle and strength potential. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, check out the link below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Stay sexy.
Stay sexy, people, just like me.
And me.
And her. More her than me. You know what I'm saying?